It's been a while. Grook misses new friends. New friends went into hole and left Grook. Now Grook must wait. But Grook no like this. Grook hope new friends are okay. Find out if the party survives on this episode of Folks and Fables.
Last we left off, you guys had found your way through the dungeon and the mine, and you found yourself in a subterranean jungle somehow. And you looked upon this jungle, and there was flora and fauna all around you, and a massive tree with a pool of water. So, as the party looks onto the vast jungle ahead of you, there's a breath of overwhelming ease. Color illuminates the treetops, and there seem to be what look like deer grazing in the brush beyond. The most impressive thing, however, is the massive tree standing before you. At the foot of the tree sits a pool of water. The water is completely still and shines a turquoise color. A path from where you're standing to the pool is a direct shot ahead of you. What do you guys want to do?
This place is crazy. Who thought something like this could exist down here? I mean, I did, because, I live in this kind of place. But crazy that it's somewhere else.
So, I will say this. You know that life can exist underground. You know that in the mountains, it's definitely a lot more sophisticated in terms of the flora and fauna than people think. But, it almost looks like there's a sun shining from the top. Like, you've never experienced anything like this before.
I'm glad we're out of the caves. Caves are not as fun as not caves.
I disagree very strongly.
JJ is just, furiously writing in his notebook. He's not paying attention to his comrades whatsoever.
I know this is going to sound a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. I don't know how my connection to the stars work, but do I feel a connection to the stars?
Yeah, that hasn't disappeared.
Okay. I didn't know if I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna... Your connection to the stars is less about your ability to see the stars and more about... In fact, I would say you probably would be able to point out the constellations even in a place where you couldn't see them.
Sweet. Powerful.
Is how I would describe it.
Cool. Oh yeah, I guess I'm still glowing. I'll keep that. It lasts 10 minutes. I don't think it's been 10 minutes since the last time we did it. That one fight.
Sorry, what do you want to keep glowing?
I have the weird star thing going on because remember I healed myself because I died.
Yes, I did remember that.
It lasts 10 minutes, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will say this. Your flower is actually glowing right now.
Yeah, of course it's glowing.
And no, and not in the I'm using magic kind of way. It's different.
Oh, it always glows at night. That's just how it works.
Well, no, but it's not nighttime.
I guess that's true.
Something wacky's going on here.
It's not glowing the way you expect it to. Usually you get a bright, almost like a luminescent glow. This is more of a colorful, almost like it's gaining a heartbeat kind of glow. It's more of a colored glow this time.
Cool. I'll keep that in mind for the future.
Yeah. So as you make your way down from the path to this pool, there's a glow coming from the pool, but it's translucent. You can see all the way down. You can't make it to the bottom because it's too deep. The light dissipates before you can see, but there's a very calming presence here. And behind the waterfall at the base of the tree, there looks to be a set of stairs circling all the way up the tree.
Do we want to explore or do we want to go to the stairs? On the tree. Trees don't normally have stairs, so I feel like that'd be a good place to go, but I'm okay with whatever.
Yeah, the stairs probably make sense. I just want to quickly... I feel like this is some cool water. I'm going to grab some of it. And I have a water skin. Could I, unpack, uncork it and fill the water skin with magic water?
Okay. Do you drink it or you just fill the water skin with it?
I just want to fill the water skin with it.
Okay.
Keep it for later.
Got it. How many liters of water would you say that water skin probably holds?
The player's handbook can give a definitive answer. Give me 2 seconds.
I found it. It's 4 pints.
An acceptable quantity.
Can I go look at the water and look at it? Does it feel like Does it feel like anything different from regular water? I know that sounds stupid.
You stick your hand in the water and it feels like water.
Can I make a survival check to see if I get a vibe that I die if I drink it? Just instincts?
Sure, go ahead.
I think I probably just gonna like look around the water, think about what I know about. Yeah, well,
totally. I'm totally cool with that.
I got a 7, really high, 5 stars.
You got a 7? Okay, so you don't know a lot about what bad water would look like, but you've survived in the wilderness for a long time. Nothing about this water tells you that this would be bad to drink.
It's probably fine. I don't really know, but it's probably fine. It seems legit. Stairs, though? Do we want to go to the stairs?
Stairs make sense.
Okay, let's go to the stairs. Oh, unless...
JJ is still writing in his book. Like, he's going to follow you, but he's still just writing in the book.
Like that autopilot, like, head down, not really paying attention, but can see people moving in peripheral following.
Precisely so, yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so as you leave the pool, a massive set of stairs wrapping around the tree looks to go to about 60 feet all the way to the top. The hempen rope that looked to be what was considered a makeshift railing has basically all but disintegrated away. And this doesn't look natural. The wood doesn't look like it's protruding from the tree in too mechanical of a fashion to look like this is something that was naturally growing out of the tree.
The stairs going around the tree don't look like they're naturally formed. What a surprise.
Well, yeah, that's... I feel like we should keep going.
Do you want us to figure out, like, a marching order, Joey?
I don't think that's super, super important right now. You can if you want to, though, just for in general.
Well, JJ would be in the back.
Just for your reference, this staircase is wide enough that it would be able to hold 2 of you on a set of stairs.
I'd probably go in the middle if we were going one thing, but I don't know.
I will lead the way.
Might as well just go single file, yeah.
So you're all just climbing up the stairs?
Yeah, so we just make our way up the stairs. Can I kind of, like, look around as we're, like, heading up, just see as, like, we raise an elevation if I can see anything else oot and a boot?
Totally.
Does this count as being in direct sunlight?
No. That's what's actually weird. So it's sunlight, and it looks like sunlight, but Piron, you have no drain on yourself right now. Like, usually when you're in sunlight, you're a little bit fatigued, but you don't feel that right now.
Okay. So, am I making a perception check?
If you want to, yeah.
Cool. Yeet. 15.
So with that, as you're walking up the stairs, you hit about 20 feet. Because this is a 60-foot flight of stairs. But at 20 feet, you're basically at the top of most of the trees in this jungle. And you see all around you, there's vegetation, but you've never seen any vegetation like this before. It's wild colors like purples and blues and greens, or not greens, like purples and blues and oranges and magentas, like all around you. There look to be butterflies the size of like a living room table flitting about the trees around you. Deer with luminescent antlers trudge through the undergrowth, and you see these massive dragonflies the size of, I would probably say, like a horse, like skating through the trees. This is a gorgeous location. But on that note, Piron, I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. An 8.
So, you slip and you stumble because nothing any of you bothered to check out was these stairs have looked like they've been here for a long time. And some of the wood is definitely rotted out. You stumble, but as you stumble, Estrella manages to grab out and keep you from falling. But you've now realized that these stairs are not exactly the most stable stairs on the planet. You don't think you'd be able to... You have to be more careful next time, especially as you ascend higher, is all I'll say.
All right. So, I guess keep the eyes on the stairs from now on.
We'll be more careful, I guess. We'll go slower. We'll check stairs. Is there anything around us, like is there any like flora that I recognize on the tree while we're climbing?
You know what? Do a nature check for me, if you don't mind.
15.
Okay. So
15.
you definitely have seen probably more flora than most people in this world. You've spent a lot of time exploring the vast wilderness.
I did live in the forest.
In your territory. But what's really interesting is you notice that there are actually like really rare flora growing off the side of this tree that you've only ever seen once or twice in very remote locations. but it seems to be covering this tree.
Interesting. Okay. Let's keep that in mind, I guess. Is there anything that looks like my flower? I know that's a dumb question, but is there anything like that looks similar to my flower?
Not that you can see right now. No.
All right, so I guess we just keep ascending.
So you keep ascending, and you have reached the top of the tree. So once you have reached the top of the tree, you are struck by a beautiful grove that faces you. Sprawling fields of grass and beautiful trees line the top of this massive oak you have now climbed. Among these trees, lights flit about, going from one tree to the other, almost looking to tend to them. At the very back end, by the way, is a trap door leading to the inside of the tree. So what do you guys do?
Okay, so there's little lights that seem to be tending to the tree, and there's a trap door leading into the tree.
Yes. And there's also a bunch of trees around you, and they're made of very, very beautiful... Like, they almost look like cherry blossoms, but they're
Can I
like
climb
pink.
a tree to get a better vantage point?
Sure,
Would that
totally.
be...
Yeah, this feels way too easy. And I would like to try and see if I can look around, see if I see anything sketchy.
JJ is going to investigate.
Yeah.
Okay. So one
Yeah.
at a time. Estrella, you wanted to go first.
Yeah, I want to climb the tree and try to get a vantage point. I don't know how I would do
Okay.
that, though.
So
I'm good at climbing trees, but maybe not actually.
So roll an athletics check for me.
Powerful. So a lie. JKLOL, bad at climbing trees.
You attempt to climb this tree, but unfortunately most of the branches stem from the top of the trunk, and so it's actually very hard. So you jump a couple of times, but you're not actually able to grasp on to the branches. But you do notice there's actually fruit hanging from these trees.
Okay, cool. Do they look familiar? Like,
No, they don't look familiar.
they look like, do they give bad juju? Will I die if I eat them?
Do you want to roll another nature check?
Sure. Would it be survival or nature?
Either or. I'll give you both. So you've never recognized these fruit before, but after examining one that had fallen to the ground, you look it over and there's nothing, like you sniff it, you give it a bit of a look around. There's nothing on it that would indicate that it's bad for you. In fact, with a roll that high, you can tell that these are definitely like edible.
Yeah, I guess what I was going to say is because I guess I rolled survival is more about like seeing if it's edible rather than like trying to actually identify what type of
That's kind of where my head was at too.
Okay.
So JJ, what did you want to do?
JJ is going to be investigating one of these lights that's tending the trees.
Okay. So as you go over to these lights, you want to roll an investigation for me?
I would love to. Wow, we have not been rolling well because that is an 8.
No, you really have not. So you go over to this light and you are going to try and touch it, and it starts to flit around you and goes flip, 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 and then gets right in your face and then flies off again.
C'est magnifique! Woohoo! I'm going to chase after it.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I make that perception roll to see kind of
Yeah, totally.
if there's anything sketchy around? Because this has been way too easy so far.
For sure.
I see nothing. That is an 8.
So with an 8, you kind of look around and you go, oh, this is actually like a really... like, you would actually really enjoy having a meditation session on the roof of this tree.
Mm-hmm.
For lack of a better term. Like, in this grove, you find yourself actually, like...
It's
you
very
can't
tranquil.
seem... Yeah, you can't seem to be, like, very focused on anything. You're just very content right now.
Okay. You know what time it is? It's
the
time to ask. It's time to see if it's bad juju. I'm asking the universe. So I sit down, and because it does seem too easy, and I'm using augury, which again I ask a question. So yeah, I ask a question that you tell me if it's going to be bad or good, like about like a thing that we're going to do, and I can't do it too often, or else it will give me the wrong time.
Got it. Okay.
But no, I haven't done it. So I'm just going to ask if we like move forward, kind of what's going to happen, right? The kind of course of action is just moving forward in this forest. So it's kind of about the forest, and I guess about the forest more in general than like what we're doing. So yeah.
Okay. So what do you want? Like, can you give me more of a specific question? Because that's a very open-ended question.
Well, it is open-ended because I just get if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Right. So the idea is that I just ask the plan of action to take, and it's just like kind of the question is just like, oh, if we continue to like kind of move forward in this forest, and like not leave basically.
And not leave the forest?
Like not leave the forest, but like kind of like continue to move forward on our journey. Like, what does this journey look like within this like new place we got to?
Okay. I know this is going to be a weird thing. So
you can say no.
You can sit down. You sit down to augury,
Yeah.
and you're kind of overwhelmed in terms of it's almost like you've gotten into a bath, but it's so hot that it's cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you
yeah.
can't determine. There's too much conflicting information being given to you to actually determine whether or not it's going to be a good or bad outcome.
Yeah. Also important, just for the future, one of the answers is nothing. It's
No,
be
but
good,
it's
bad.
not.
Yeah, no.
Here's the thing.
I know you're not
It's
saying nothing, but like
it's
in general,
both.
you can give that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I so I stand up and say like, I can't help us if there's anything good or bad. It seems like it's good and bad, and also everything at the same time.
I guess there's only one way to find out. And I start making my way to the trapdoor.
Yeah, on the way to the trapdoor, I guess I'm gonna also kind of investigate the weird lights.
You're going to investigate the lights again?
Yeah, and I just kind of go up to it. I kind of look at it. I guess I haven't seen what JJ did, so I don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to, like, I'm not...
Yeah, if you don't mind
anything
rolling an
specific.
investigation, that would be
Yeah,
amazing.
okay, cool. I got a 11.
Okay. So with an 11, it kind of, you go to investigate it, you get a little close to it, and it starts flitting around you, going, voop, 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 and it's like, it's bouncing up around your face. It kind of circles you a little bit, and then it looks at you, and then flies off again.
As I've been chasing this thing, can I do can I do an Arcana check maybe to kind of see like what I can discern of its magic?
Absolutely.
Awesome, I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, that's a 21 in total.
That's a 21.
Oh yeah, baby.
Okay. That's powerful. Okay, so with a 21, you can definitely tell this is magical, but it's not like a spell. These are creatures. These are magical creatures.
Well, yeah, obviously.
No, but like they're not
constructs
created by a
Okay.
spell. They're not constructs. They're not somebody didn't summon them. These are naturally occurring creatures that live in this growth.
Like these are godly creatures that Adam named. Okay. Well, obviously, yes. That is our world's thing of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Is there anything else I can tell with my 21? My super crazy roll of a 21 out of 20?
Yes, absolutely. With that, you actually get bad jujus from these things.
Oh boy.
Bad vibe.
You are like, these things are not as innocent as they're made out to be. Like, they seem like fun little sprites that are springing around.
But the fact is, you say sprites, and if they're like sprites, then maybe they're fey, which is
I'm using sprites
not
as sorry, not sprites. These little orbs are like flitting around, and they seem very innocent and childlike, but they're not. They're definitely not.
So it's very important to contrast this. As Duncan gets this big information, I am chasing it around because I think it's cute.
yeah. So I'm gonna run over to Estrella.
You chasing it around does not seem to be putting these things on edge, but you can tell that these things are not like, they're not playing around with kind of things.
All right. Yeah.
While they've been playing around, I went to go check out the trapdoor. Can I like investigate it before I yank it open to make sure
Absolutely.
it's not going to blow up in my face?
For sure.
And a 9.
Wow. Investigation is not our strong suit today.
No, it really is not.
I have not rolled double digit yet.
You guys are really the Scooby Gang when it comes to your investigative techniques. You go to investigate this. There's nothing that seems off about this, except two things. One, there is a inscription laden on the panel at the top of the trapdoor, and the door's locked.
Is it like a visible like padlock, or it's just like when I pull it doesn't open?
And when you pull it, doesn't open.
Okay.
I have fire. Just remember that.
So I turn around to my two friends who are chasing lights, and I do the classic teacher. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. And then I go, okay, JJ, Could you help me out here? I need you to read something that I definitely can't read.
It would be my pleasure. Okay, so
Come hither, children.
JJ will be a good read boy.
Okay. So, JJ, do you read Elvish?
Do I, the Wood Elf, read Elvish? Yeah, I think I do.
Just asking.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so you...
Well, I
you
read
gotta-
Elvish. Can I read it?
Okay. Oh, then no. Neither of you can read this. So you actually go to look at this, and this would be like the equivalent of if I asked you to read, like, what's a good example? If I asked you to read English, this would be written in, like, Celtic. It looks like the same alphabet as Elven, but the only words you can really make out that translate in your mind into the Elvish language is ask and enter. And there's like 3 or 4 sentences. There's like 2 or 3 sentences written on this thing. But the only things you can read out are ask and enter.
Are my true useless languages celestial and infernal helpful?
Okay,
Nope,
well,
none of those are helpful.
in the canon of JJ's character, Sir Jean-Jacques Gallo is a master's graduate of language and storytelling. So,
Okay.
with my linguistics knowledge, would I be able to know, especially also with my sage background?
Can you roll a history check for me?
Whipping out every card.
History.
One of them's got a stick.
That's a 17.
So you can actually... Now, you take a little bit of time because this takes a while to translate. And you've never seen this language before, but using your ability to understand dialects, and that's literally what a lot of what your thesis is written on, you go to try and describe it. And so you can make out a couple more words, which is ask us please and enter prohibited.
Okay, I ask in Sylvan, may I please enter?
Nothing happens.
I'll ask in Elvish.
Nothing happens.
I just yell out loud, yo, door. Yo, trap door. Can we come in, please? Thank you.
Nothing happens.
Well, rip. What if we burn the door?
Why?
Well, it's made out of wood.
Your tree is made out of wood.
Astrea, this may be your best idea yet.
We don't have to fight whatever is in the tree if we burn down the whole tree.
Astrea, you can create a bonfire, oui?
Yeah, correct.
Alright, so this wooden door should be no problem for you, correct?
Wait, are we burning down the door? I'm
Yes,
confused.
burn down the door.
Wait, I was just told to not burn the door, and then you said burn down the
Burn
door.
down the door. Who told you not to burn down the door?
This feels like a recipe for disaster.
I thought you just said let's not burn down the door, and then you said you can burn down the door, right? I'm very lost.
No. Joey said don't burn down the door. But Joey isn't real.
Okay, so that's fair. So we are burning down the door.
I didn't say don't burn the door down the door. I asked, why would you want to burn down the door? Go ahead if you want to. It just seems like overkill.
It doesn't open. You said that. It's locked, right?
So that'd be like the equivalent of going, hey, do you sell pizza? No, I don't sell pizza. I'm going to shoot you unless you make me pizza.
No, that's not. This is like a door, and then the door is not open.
Perhaps Piron could punch the door? I don't know, man.
What if I take a little bit of water and I drip it on top of the door? Magic water's got to do something.
No, nothing happens with the water.
Yo, pixies, sprite light things. Can you open the door?
Perhaps that is not a. We perhaps do not want to aggravate the sprites. Okay, it is
The lights.
the lights. Yes,
We do not want to aggravate the lights that are walking around us. Okay. So what's our plan? Wait, so it said, what did it say again? JJ, what did it say again? I forgot already.
It said ask, or it said ask friend, and then it says enter prohibited.
Ask friend. Friend, I say friend.
No, nothing happens.
I say, yo friend. Hello, is there a friend there that can open the door for us? No?
Nothing
Anyone?
happens.
Bueller?
Alright, we have exhausted the options. I suggest Alson.
No, I'm not burning it down right now. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna go look around the trees to see if I see the script anywhere else on the trees.
Okay.
I have flint, and like,
No, don't burn it down yet.
can I start a fire?
No,
So,
wait, hold
go
on.
ahead, go ahead. You can go ahead and try start a fire. Sure.
Cool. Okay, what kind of do I have
No,
to like do a roll?
It would be a survival roll.
Please be bad at survival. I'm the one who knows how to do things.
Oh, that is an 18.
no.
I can start a
So
fire.
here's the thing. You start sparking the fire, and you actually start a fire. And as the fire sparks, one of these light creatures comes over and puts out the fire, and then goes to you and starts flitting around you and starts glowing red and going zip, 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 and then flies
I say
away.
sorry. Bye. Please don't. I'm gonna go look. Okay, now I'm gonna go my thing. I'm gonna go look around. And you said don't aggravate the things, and now you've aggravated the things.
Hey,
I'm gonna go
Estrella,
look around.
do you think your fancy glowing flower might have something to do with it? Maybe the magic's the same?
I put the flower on the door. I don't think that does anything.
No, it doesn't do anything.
I'm
think
gonna
we
go
should
look
just
around for
keep
the script.
piling things onto the door. Wait. I pull out the key.
Oh damn, the key.
We forgot we had
Okay.
a key.
It is a talking key. Well, I mean, it had
Okay.
pre-recorded stuff, but I pull up the key and I go, "Hello, key friend. Can you open this?"
It doesn't say anything.
I put the key on the trap door.
You tap the key on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The door swings up.
Wait, actually?
Yep.
Damn.
I'm a genius.
Okay, I know last time we talked
didn't-
about making the puzzles harder, but I think this just proved that no, we should never make the puzzles harder. We're idiots.
We figured it out. This was good problem solving.
You actually didn't. You actually didn't figure it out. You inadvertently figured it out.
This was the episode. This puzzle was the episode.
I used my incredible big brain logic to put together the talking key and opening things.
You mean key in the door?
Putting a key in a door.
That's just me problem solving. It's a great puzzle.
As this trap door flies open, a must of decay swings up above you.
Close it! Close it!
A ladder descends hanging down into the darkness that looks to be a landing with a set of stairs descending into the tree underneath you.
Okay, I'm assuming it's been 10 minutes, by the way. I'm assuming I'm no longer glowing.
Yes.
No, we took a long time figuring this one
So
out.
you're no longer glowing, but your flower is still glowing.
Of course my flower is still glowing. It glows in the nighttime. It's just special now. I say, do you want me to throw fire down there now? It smells very bad.
I just cast dancing lights and
Wait, but it smells... we didn't want to alert them. I want to burn them, but it's okay.
So at the bottom of the stairs, or at the bottom of the ladder, there seems to be a landing with a set of stairs descending in a spiral down beneath that. And from there, there's like cobwebs, and it looks like this used to be well taken care of. There are torch holders lining the walls with no torches in them. Cobwebs line the walls. The walls seem actually very nicely carved in a very cool pattern in terms of there's waves in the wood that have been carved out, but that's about it.
Well,
So I say, again, I would ask, but I think the answer is bad. Let's go.
okay. And I head down. Do we want the lights on or the lights off? 'Cause I can turn off the lights.
I guess if it's
How
very
bright
dark,
is it in
we
this
should have
hall?
we all have dark vision.
You all have dark vision.
But dark
Well,
vision
yeah,
only
because
in dim light.
the dancing lights, dark vision makes darkness dim and dim bright.
Yeah.
But the dancing lights are 10-foot radius of dim light, so there's very, very shallow light that I can send ahead of us. Because there's like 4 of them. They got
Yeah, I
like
feel like that's a
10-foot
good idea. Let's
radius.
just do
Yeah,
it.
might as well.
I can send them like
Yeah.
they have to be like within like 20 feet of each other, but can be like 120 feet away.
Dance those lights, Piran.
Okay, I send my lights kind of around and ahead of us, and
we climb down.
We descend into the tree.
Yeah.
Alonzi?
So, once you've finished descending the stairs, you see an array of huts surrounding a marbled pad of stone on the floor. What is more surprising is as you reach the floor, outlines of figures are amassed in the area, each shouting in a language that you do not understand, as well as shadows of giant creatures that buzz around the room, the size of horses but with 4 wings, and 6 legs attached to each. Within moments, a blast appears. However, for some reason, none of you guys seem to be affected by the blast. The images dissipate, leaving the room as it looked initially. Broken huts surround the place. Empty saddles and harnesses are strewn across the floor, and it's silent.
So no horses is what you're saying.
Seems like we saw a vision of the past just now. I'm assuming you guys saw that too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, yes.
Tripping out.
This must have been a some sort of historic representation of what's occurred here. Perhaps it is best to.
There seems
move
to
on.
be a lot of wacky illusion magic going on here. I'd be a little cautious of our senses.
Perhaps it is best if I were to spend some time studying this magic. Basically, I want to ritual cast detect magic.
Might be a good idea.
Okay, you can do that.
So
10
We can
minutes.
vibe for 10 minutes.
cool. Okay, so for the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you.
I guess while that's happening, can I just be looking at the huts? They're all broken, right? Like while
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
10 minutes.
So
is
yeah, so
happening.
while you're doing that, you're ritual casting for 10 minutes. Estrella, so each of the huts are asunder. What used to look like housing for some sort of creature have been torn apart. Most of the equipment and stabling have been strewn around. However, in hut number 3 lays a rusted helmet with runes inlaid on the forehead.
Okay, I'll wait for the 10 minutes before I do anything, but I say
Okay.
we should check that one out.
So here's the interesting thing. Duncan, there's definitely magic going on here. You can sense there's definitely some druidic nature magic happening. And you can also tell that there's definitely a Benj, D&D nerd. What is the type of magic that enhances people?
Like enchantment.
There's enchantment magic going on as well, but the most interesting part is that there's a lot of necromancy.
Yeets. Wait, so the helmet's rusty, right?
Yeah, the helmet is rusted out.
Does anyone want to touch the helmet? It looks spooky.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Historian, go touch helmet, please. Thank you.
All right, I go touch the helmet.
Okay. It's a rusty helmet.
I'm going to toss it over to Estrella.
Okay.
I'm like, I put it in my, I have it, and I put it in my bag, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so that's like all the other huts had nothing special in it while I was.
They were strewn apart, broken, like.
And in hut 3, there was just that helmet, nothing else.
There was that helmet on the ground, but that was the only interesting thing of note aside from the torn and blown asunder, what looked like to be housing for some sort of animal.
Can I dust off the helmet? Does it dust?
Yeah, you can dust it.
Anything happen to the runes? Because you said, is there any weird, like, you know how there's
So
that
the
last...
runes, you dust off the helmet and the runes become more visible, but they're not. It's not like they're magical runes.
No, I meant was, does it look similar to the thing that was on the...
It's the same alphabet, yes.
I say, can you read this? Does it read? So
Yeah,
to JJ.
can I do that with my linguistic play powers?
Yeah, go ahead. You can roll a history check.
Because I have a background with this kind of stuff. Can I have advantage?
No.
That's rude. All right, that's a 13 this time.
So with a 13, once again, you've never really seen this dialect before, and you've used your past experience to basically do a rough translation of the words that you've seen previous to this. You can't seem to make out what this word is.
Well, we are SRA.
Right. Can I investigate kind of the damage to the huts? I kind of want to see if I can figure out like what does it look like hit this place?
Yeah, go ahead.
A 7. I am smart. Big brain time.
You can't really tell what caused the damage to these huts. There's holes in the wall and things are flowing everywhere, and there seem to be a couple of scorch marks here and there, but it doesn't really look like anything discernible. Like, you can't tell anything definitively from this.
Hey guys, I'm starting to think something might have damaged this place. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's not supposed to look like this.
Really, Theon? I did not know. That is brand new news to me.
I go to this hut because it's the hut that... I go to the hut that the path leads to, that the marble path leads to,
Yeah.
and I go in it and sit down.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
It seems like there's a desk, and there seem to be papers strewn about, but most of them seem to be destroyed. A dagger sticks out from the table in a weird, intricate design that you haven't seen before, but it is so rusted you're not even sure that you'd be able to use it.
Dibs, and I grab the dagger.
I'm going to just grab it and say, 1 moment, I need to study this. And I would like to do a history check on this if possible, or perhaps if there's a better...
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 9 there.
It looks like a precursor to most daggers that exist today.
Okay, cool. I am going to do a thing.
I take it back.
And I'm going to use my researcher feat, which... oh, no, it doesn't show up. Okay. Researcher, when you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you do not know that information, you often know where and from whom you can obtain it. Usually this information comes from a library or a university or another sage or whatever. Your DM might rule that, yeah.
Okay. So, you know, and you can tell that this is definitely a pre-Elven place. It's got the same alphabet. It's got similar designs in terms of the crafting on the walls and the making of the buildings and the magic being used. And you know that from your studies that most of the experts on ancient Elven cultures before the Great Reconciliation would be probably in the regions of the jungle. In terms of the capital region, would probably have the most archaeological findings in that area. You might be able to find a researcher who's doing research on ancient elves in that area.
Okay, dope.
Is the okay? So in here, other than the desk, there's nothing.
There's nothing. No. It's not like a desk with drawers. It looks almost more like a table desk than a desk with drawers.
A drafting table. What was the thing about the fake door? Or fake wall. Is there the thing that anything look like the fake wall here?
No, I mean there's the marbled pathway leads down a hallway, but there's no fake door. Like there's no doors here, nothing like that.
Okay. Where is there next for us to go? Like I don't see an exit.
You can go down the hallway.
Go down the hallway? Okay, I'm gonna go down the hallway. I'm bored of this place.
Okay.
And by I mean JJ.
I will...
no, I thought you yourself were gonna go down a hallway.
We all head over.
So, as the party exits the previous room, there's a brief hallway and then an opening into what looks like to be a hall of dining. The table looks set for a meal, however, chairs are smashed and vases lie on the floor, and ash marks scorch the tiles and walls. A door is presented at the end of the hall. As well, a woman sits crying in the back right corner of the room.
I have seen way too many horror movies / played too many horror video games. I think this is where we turn around and leave and pretend we were never here.
I go up to the lady and ask how she's doing. Madam, are you okay?
I probably follow. That's my whole deal. I help people.
Piron will go, but Benji thinks this is dumb.
Where am I? What's happening? Where am I? And she, this is not a person, by the way. This is definitely a specter. Like, you with your limited knowledge understand that this is not what a person looks like. They are translucent and don't have color. They're purely an outline.
Ghosts are people too. I say, hello, can you hear me?
Where am I? What's happening?
Unfortunately,
I'm so scared.
I'm kind of scared too. Things are definitely weird. Unfortunately, I can't fully tell you where you are, but what happened last? What do you remember?
There were the guards, they came and they told us everything was going to be fine and that we'd stay safe, and then there were noises and screaming and my son, where's my son? My son. And then she starts screaming, where's my son? Where's my son? Where's my son? And disappears through the back wall.
We maybe could have handled that better.
I think we handled that
Perhaps if we go through the door, we can follow.
Underneath her, by the way, is a portrait of a woman, a young elf woman, clad in gold, smiling with her head on a jade pedestal.
Does it look like her?
That person had no features. Like, you could tell it was an elf because of the ears, but the face was blank.
So it's like a memory.
Yeah, almost.
Okay. Spooky season.
Do you want to check out this room a little more, though? Like, you literally got in here, saw a spooky ghost, and then went, time to go.
JJ is feeling the call adventure. The adventure is with the ghost.
I feel like there's more to be seen in this room before we head on.
But the ghost. I want. Okay.
I too want to help her move on
Okay.
with her spiritual journey, but first we have to understand what happened in order to help liberate her spirit.
Ah, correct. Pion, you are a genius. Yes, we must solve the mystery of her murder, and then she will be free. Perfect story.
Close enough. Yes.
Powerful.
And can I look around the room?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that investigation or perception?
Both. I'd say perception.
Why don't you do a perception
Sick.
and I'll do an investigation? How about that?
Works for me.
What are you investigating?
I'm going to investigate the portrait, actually. So I'll do
Okay.
yeah.
I got a 19 on my perception roll.
So on your
I
perception
see
roll,
good.
so you see great. So you notice two things. One, decorating the walls, there look to be a inlay of what look like your version of mosaics, but they're very primitive and rudimentary. They're carved out of wood. There's no real detail behind them. They look like elven people scattering around the walls.
By your people, do you mean like they look like drow art mosaics? Like dark
They
elf
look like, well, so
art
you're
style?
the only one who's probably seen most of the mosaics, but this looks like a precursor to what the mosaics for each of the different elven tribes turned into.
Right. Like a very primitive version of the modern mosaic art that I would know in my
Exactly.
culture.
And the
Okay.
other thing you notice is there is a wooden dagger sticking out of the head of the table.
Another dagger? There's a lot of daggers.
This one's made of wood, though, but it's stuck into the table.
Interesting. So I rolled a critical fail for my investigation of the portrait.
Okay. You look at the portrait, and you sit there, and you start scratching your chin, and Estrella is looking at you being like, what is this magical thing that he's about to discover? And you look like you have an epiphany and go, this girl was an elf.
Oh boy. That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
May I do a history check on the tapestry? Because I'm assuming that Piron kind of relayed that info.
Sure. Yeah, so Piron would kind of see this and turn around and be like, "Hey guys, like these mosaics look a lot like a very early elven mosaic. I think these were ancient elven people."
Okay, and Joey,
This is another. I'm just like, wow, we're coming up with really incredibly, definitely never would have thought of this things by looking at things in our ancient underground.
Your sleuthing
tree.
skills are top notch.
You find something new then, Estrella.
That's not
Give
my
us a
job.
new piece of
That's
information.
JJ's deal.
So speaking of JJ's deal, Joey. Okay, so ancient elven societies, cultures, storytelling. This is literally JJ's master thesis.
Okay.
All right, I have to assume that either this is going to be a really low bar that I basically don't have to roll for, or I do get advantage. Like this has to be.
Stop fishing for your goddamn advantage.
So let me ask you a question. If you, and this is a genuine question, if you are proficient in the history of the Roman Empire, would you be able to tell me about the Italic peoples before the Romans?
Okay, but I did it on ancient elven travel.
There's a lot of ancient elves. Is what
Okay,
he's
fair
saying.
enough. Yeah, all right, fine, whatever. I'll do the history check. Oh, that was a crit success. Woo!
Okay. So that's
crit
incredible.
fail, crit success, one after the other.
So you look at these mosaics and you immediately clue in that. So you definitely can tell that this is the story of Hono, and you're going nuts because the fact is you thought that you now have proof that that story is a precursor to ancient elves, which means because the fact that this is showing up in mosaics either means that this story dates beyond what you thought this happened because you were under the assumption that the story of Hono was of an ancient elf, but you now have proof that either it's concurrent or precursor to what you would consider to be the ancient elven tribes.
Oh, Piron! This is the story of Hono. This is you would what is your people's words for Fezo Oto Aiga. This is the hero. This is the ancient elves that saved our people. This is the boy in the story.
Cool. Piron is like it's cool, but he doesn't understand the significance of finding it here the way that you do. So he's like, yeah, cool. Ancient elves, same story.
No, see.
What a wacky coincidence.
Here is the thing. This story is not supposed to be this old, so this must mean that either these elves has this precursor knowledge, or they are not as ancient as we thought. Perhaps they've been here for a long time in hiding.
Wait, but wasn't that a ghost? Maybe it's just really old. I'm guessing it's really old.
Well,
I don't think the question is whether or not it's really old, but how really old it is.
Is
that right, JJ?
C'est magnifique. That is correct. We want to establish where exactly these people have come from and why they have been here.
Well, I have that helmet, so when we leave and if we don't figure it out, you can go to a historian that knows things and ask them about the helmet. And maybe we can figure it out.
Congratulations, Indiana Jones. You have a lot of stuff to sell to museums.
Okay, that's actually pretty exciting for Act 9.
And with this conclusion, do we really have anything significant?
The only thing
What's on
left
the
is
table?
the dagger on the table.
I'm going to grab that.
No.
I'm gonna yank that.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I grab
so
it.
you go to yank that, and you find a wooden dagger that is somehow still sharp to the touch is stuck into the table. A carved wooden skull rests on the hilt of the dagger, and the handle looks like it can be twisted into the blade.
It's like a hidden blade.
No. The handle,
like a crank,
like
right?
a crank, can be like twisted into the dagger.
Oh, are there any doors?
Yeah, there's doors here.
Put the door in. Put the thing in the door.
I push the door.
Door opens.
Oh well.
So sorry, is there one door or multiple doors?
One door.
Decided. There's one door. All right.
Yeah.
So I grab the dagger. I go, this looks cool. I'll see if this comes into use later. And I push the door open.
So, once you go through the door, a new set of stairs appears. The descent takes about 5 minutes, and after exiting, you see a room filled with vegetation. Vines hang from the walls, moss grows over the tiles on the floor. However, the most prominent plant are mushrooms. They decorate the floor of the room entirely. It is almost impossible to avoid walking in this room without stepping on one of these mushrooms. In the center of the room sits an obelisk with an inscription written on it, and at each of the directional points sits a statuette holding an orb.
I say, before we go, I'm going to make sure that if we touch these mushrooms, we won't die.
That's a 19.
I got a 19.
You go to touch these mushrooms, and they definitely aren't pleasant. Like, you know that these mushrooms produce a toxin, you're just not sure what that is.
Can I make a medicine check?
Go ahead.
Yeah. A 12.
Okay. So with a 12, you know that the toxicness of this mushrooms is not immediately lethal, but will definitely have an effect on you.
Do I like recognize these mushrooms from my studies?
No, you actually do not, which is really odd considering you did a whole unit on mushrooms in med school.
I have proficiency in herbalism. Does that help me at all?
Yeah, that's how you can tell the mushrooms were toxic.
All right, so I'm hearing drug mushrooms.
Don't worry, baby. I'm just throwing them in the backpack.
All right.
Just as many as I can grab.
All right, JJ is doing the same.
Wait, so you
I
pick one out of the-
I put on gloves. I have special gloves. Huron has experience handling toxic materials. He does not just yeet them into the bag. That was exaggeration. Okay. He puts them into... He puts on gloves and picks up a bunch. I'd say like a good 20 mushrooms. I don't know how many there are.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
God damn it. I put on the gloves, though. 12.
So with that, you pick up the mushroom, and immediately a spray of gas comes up, and you look at it, and you just kind of start giggling, and then that giggling turns into like a laughter, and then you just keep laughing. Like, you can't stop yourself from laughing, and that lasts you about 5 to 10 minutes before you finally can calm yourself down from stopping yourself from laughing.
JJ immediately pulls up a mushroom.
Same thing happens. Please roll a constitution.
No, I decided to fail.
Oh, well, you breathe in the toxicness?
Oh, yeah.
Can you, okay.
No, please don't. Can I tackle him? Can I intercept
you take 6
him?
points of damage as you just start boiling over laughing. You actually start having trouble breathing. You're laughing so hard.
Well, this is what you get.
And
I'm gonna let you do
first
that.
blood on
you
JJ.
and you end up like you're doubled over on the ground, and your friends have to like pull you up and like
Nope,
calm you
I'm
down
not-
and like kind of get you some
Incorrect.
air from outside of the
Not
room.
even helping.
Can I cover my mouth though? Like I have Piron has this mask. This like it kind of looks like a snake's face.
Okay.
Can I like kind of put the mask on? It covers his mouth, and then I'm gonna take this new sharp wooden dagger, and I'm gonna like carefully cut the fungi from the base. Do they still explode in my face?
They do. You can make a Constitution saving throw, but you now have advantage on doing so.
God damn it!
I'm not touching them.
Okay, so you get the spray in your face as you manage to reel back, and you just miss getting the spray in your face.
Okay. Do I have any success collecting mushrooms without hurting myself?
Can you roll either a medicine or a survival check for me?
Can I help with nature? Can I help him know how to cut mushrooms?
No, you can help him with survival if you're proficient in survival. If he decides to roll that.
I'm also proficient in survival, but nature. There's a help action in D&D, but
Yeah, so how help action works is if you're proficient in a check that somebody else in your party is making, you can do one of two things. Either they can roll with advantage, or you can both individually roll.
so technically that's not how the help action works, but I'll accept it.
It's our homebrew help
That's what
action.
we do.
Let's each roll. You roll on your own, and I'll roll on my own. Let's see how it works. Got a 19 and an 18.
So you both successfully harvest mushrooms without spraying them in your face.
I
You
mean, I
managed
many
wasn't
do I get?
actively helping. I wasn't harvesting. I was helping, but that's
I would
fine.
say you each get about 4 mushrooms.
Okay.
I give them to Pierre. I don't want them.
May I check out the
Can I go look
obelisk?
at the obelisk? I'll
You absolutely can.
Okay. What kind of check would JJ be approaching this with?
Nothing. You go up to the obelisk, and there's an inscription written in Common Elvish, and you're like, thank God.
Perfect. I can read it. What does it say?
The inscription on the obelisk reads, "The northern winds require reprieve and wish to warm themselves. The southern tides are rough and wild and strong. Only the strong will win. The west is gentle, kind, and soft, and all that's required is muse. And to the east is forgotten and lost and broken. Only soft words are spoken here."
Well, there seems to be for directions in the writing, and
Why don't we all go in one direction and do the thing? So what was the east? Soft spoken.
The east was the east is forgotten and lost, and broken. Only soft words are spoken here.
Can I go over to the east statue and whisper?
Sure.
I know that sounds dumb, but I'm doing it.
No.
anyways.
So you go over to the east statue. What do you whisper?
The lost and broken. I guess I don't know. I have nothing. Can I whisper what was lost here?
Sure. So as you do that, actually, the orb begins to glow.
Does my
red.
flower grow when it glows?
No, but
Well,
the orb
worth a
begins
shot.
to glow.
Yeah.
all right. What was the west again?
The west was. The west is gentle, kind, and soft. All that's required is muse.
All right, so I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna play my hurdy-gurdy.
Okay. So you play your hurdy-gurdy, and can you actually roll a performance check
I
for me?
would absolutely love to. I got an 11.
So you play your hurdy-gurdy, and you're definitely out of tune. You realize you haven't tuned your hurdy-gurdy in a while, but you managed to pull off enough that it plays a coherent, like a decent kind of tune, and the statuette starts to glow red. Like the orb starts to glow red.
What did North say?
The northern winds require reprieve and wish to warm themselves.
Okay, I go to the north and cast Create Fire. It's
Okay.
a cantrip. It makes fire.
So you do that, and the orb begins to glow.
And what was the last one?
Southern tides are rough and wild. Only the strong will win.
Oh, yo, we sent the right person.
Yeah.
Jock.
I go to that one. So there's an obelisk in front of me. Do I like punch it?
Do you go to the obelisk? Or the
I look at
statuette?
the other two and I go like, do I hit it?
Perhaps a demonstration, perhaps a kata will do the trick.
What's a kata?
A series of forms and movements to show your prowess.
Oh, I do have that. I guess I start doing martial arts.
Nothing happens.
Okay, punch the statue. Yeah.
I punch the statue.
Nothing happens.
I flex in front
Nothing
of the
happens.
statue. I do a bunch of push-ups.
Try to lift it.
Oh my god. Okay. I try to lift the statue.
Nothing happens.
Oh, I have an idea.
Could I get the inscription again? Hang on.
The southern tides are rough and wild. Only the strong will win.
I feel like it has something more to do with water than strength.
Boz the water out of the water skin.
I pour the water on the statue.
Nothing happens.
Oh, I have an idea. Okay, I'm gonna run over to the south with Piron, and I'm going to say, "Punch me."
Oh my god.
I don't think
just
that's
do it.
a good idea.
Piron, do it. It is for science. I can take it.
Oh,
Can you take it? You
And
just got mushroomed.
I give him a good punch. I'll probably go for the shoulder. I just kind of hit him hard in the shoulder. Do I have to roll
And
for that?
the orb begins to glow.
Yo, we did it.
Sick.
As the four orbs begin, streams of light shoot out from each of them, hitting the top of the obelisk. And the obelisk moves to the right, revealing a cavern with stairs descending beneath.
Ooh, perfect.
Are we not questioning that we haven't seen modern Elvish until now? Is this obelisk a new addition? Should we
Keep
be
that in
worried?
mind. Let's go.
All right, I'll go first, and then
Descending into the cavern, it's about a 10 to 15 minute walk in pure darkness. It's about, as you exit, there is a large overgrown chamber in front of you. Vegetation clings to the walls. Upon entering the room, a large overgrown chamber lies ahead. Vegetation clinging to the walls and a set of stones in the middle of the room, making what used to look like a wall. A set of symbols lies in the middle of the room in red, in something that's red. Most importantly, a figure, gaunt and clad in black, sits upon the farthest wall from you, looking at you. He smiles and says, "It's been so long since I've had anyone to talk to. Please, come sit with me," and then flashes you a devilish smile. And that's where we're going to end it for today.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Folks and Fables. If you like the show, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts, or tell a friend. We also have a Ko-fi link, which is ko-fi.com/folksandfables. You can follow us on Twitter @folks_fables and Instagram @folksandfables, all one word. A special thanks to Talia Faulkner for our beautiful logo, to Quinn, who does all our editing and web services, and to Joey, who has selflessly signed up to deal with all our shenanigans. And of course, thank you, dear listener, as this would not be possible without your support.